iPhone 10 battery replacement guide. The tools we're going to need are a proprietary pentalobe screwdriver that has 5 rigid teeth, a standard Phillips head screwdriver, a 00 Phillips head screwdriver, a Y-tip 00, also referred to as a tri-wing screwdriver, a pair of tweezers, a plastic prying tool referred to as a spudger, a suction cup for pulling the screen apart, a triangular pick tool also for separating the screen, and then a metallic prying tool for separating the screen from the phone casing. Finally, we'll need a heat gun or a hair dryer. Make sure that the phone is completely powered down before we begin. Go ahead and flip the phone over, and near the charging port, locate the 2 pentalobe screws. Go ahead and remove the 2 pentalobe screws with the pentalobe screwdriver. With the pentalobe screws removed, go ahead and start using the hair dryer or heat gun to go around the contour of the iPhone and warm up the waterproof adhesive. Do this for about 2 to 3 minutes at a distance. Once heat has been applied, go ahead and place the suction cup as close as you can to the charging port. Tug on it with your middle finger while pinching the sides of the phone with your index and your thumb, and insert the metallic prying tool right underneath where the home button location is. Then go ahead and insert a plastic pick into the seam and start sliding it down to create a seam separation. Start sliding it down to the right side, going around the contour of the phone. You want to use the plastic tool for this, not to scratch up the phone screen. Go along the right side as far down as you can. Then come back and go along the left side. You want to take your time and make this separation carefully. You don't want to scratch or break anything. You should go about the same speed as you see here on video or slower. Once you've loosened up the bottom and both sides, go ahead and slide the pick through the top, completing the phone adhesion separation. Now you can go ahead and fold the phone out like a book. There are 2 cable attachments, one in the top and one in the middle, so be careful not to tear those. We'll need to remove the cover that's securing all the connections to the screen. Go ahead and remove the 6 tri-wing screws that are securing the cover. Make sure to place them in an orientation in which you'll remember where they go back, as they are all different sizes. Go ahead and lift the cover and put it over to the side. We'll need to disconnect the 3 cables that are securing the screen to the phone, starting with the ear speaker. With a plastic prying tool, go ahead and pry underneath the corner of the speaker and just gently push it up, and it should come right out. Now for the screen and the digitizer, as you see here. Once separated, you might have to clean up some of the waterproof adhesive around the contour of the edge of the phone. Just peel the adhesive away that has come apart. Begin by disconnecting the battery. It's the 3rd connection from the bottom on the connection bridge. Just disconnect it by prying a plastic tool underneath it and tuck it out of the way. The battery is secured to the phone with 3 pull tabs. Starting at the top, as you see here, we'll show 3 separate ways and scenarios where the pull tabs can give you some troubles. In this specific situation, we're pulling out the tab. We're starting to pull out the tab, and slowly want to just take it out and start pulling it away from the battery, flipping the phone in the orientation which best suits you. And it starts coming out just like this, like you see here. And you just grip the phone and slowly start pulling it out. Sometimes if you go too fast, the tab can rip. In this specific situation, it came out all the way without any issues. So now we just flip around and go to the bottom of the battery where there are 2 more tabs. This one sometimes is difficult to get to. You might need tweezers that are bent at an angle to get the tab started. And it's pretty difficult to get it going. But once you start getting it going, it should be able to come out relatively easy, just like the top tab. And it comes out just like so. If it rips, just move on to the next tab. Here's another technique for this third and final tab. Go ahead and take your tweezers and just start twirling the tab as you pull on it, and let it twirl around the tweezers. So just pull out, then twist the tweezers, pull out, twist the tweezers, and that should be able to help you pull out a tab as well. It's a lengthy and frustrating process, so just patience and trial is the way to go to pull these tabs out. If the tab rips but you feel like you got more than half the tab, then just go ahead and leave it in place and start the prying process, which we'll move on to now. Once you feel like you got most of the tabs out, as much as you can anyway, slide a plastic tool underneath the battery, making sure not to scratch the wireless charging pad that's in the middle underneath the battery. And then you want to pry in and just push the battery up a little bit as you push in with the plastic prying tool. You can only do this with a plastic prying tool. Do not do this with a metallic tool. Once you got it up at a 45-degree angle, you can just basically pull it out. Go ahead and clear out the residual pull tabs that are left on the bottom. Reassembly. Use double-sided M3 tape to secure the battery. That's the replacement battery. Make sure to use this tape and not the pull tabs that come with the replacement battery, just to avoid the situation that we had earlier. Place the tape in the strips around the wireless charging port, which is that black circle that you see in the middle. You don't want any tape on that. Go ahead and remove the cover from the tape. Once the tape is primed and ready for the new battery, go ahead and reinsert the battery in the following orientation. Just gently put it in and align it properly, making sure that the connector and the battery is aligned with the logic board, and then go ahead and press the connector into the logic board, making the connection. Make sure that the connection is tight. It's time to reattach the screen to the phone. Go ahead and align it in the following orientation. Reconnect the screen display cable and the digitizer cables first in the middle. Go ahead and align it with the socket and gently press it in. Make sure it's correctly aligned before you apply pressure, as you can damage the socket. Do the same for the digitizer. You can use a plastic prying tool to help you apply the pressure. Once you feel like you have a nice and solid connection, go ahead and reconnect the earpiece speaker up on the top portion of the connection bridge. Once again, aligning the socket and applying pressure. Then place the cover back over the connection bridge. Align it in the following orientation. Now secure it with the 6 tri-wing tip screws. Once all the connections are secured by the cover, we want to power on and test the phone before we close it up. So go ahead and power it on. Once everything is tested and it works, power it back off, and then we're going to clamp it up. Close it carefully, aligning the seam around all the 4 edges, and just start applying minor pressure in the top left corner and start going along the contour of the phone. It should click right in. You shouldn't feel any real resistance. It should just close and clamp up just like you see here. Now make sure to keep going around the outer edges. Make sure that everything is tight. There shouldn't be any gaps or space in between. Now go ahead and place the 2 pentalobe screws back into the pentalobe screw holes near the charging port and secure them with the pentalobe screwdriver. Now power up the phone again and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe and check out more awesome videos at appledollars.com.